Are you ready to get some sand in your pants?
I like sand.
Well, then get excited, ladies and gentlemen, because today we're gonna get sand everywhere. We're gonna talk about the very best light side Geonosis territory battle teams to do as well as you possibly can. Gary, hit the intro. Does anybody really play this game anymore? The light side Geonosis territory battle. Republic Offensive, generally considered to be probably the most difficult PvE content in Star Wars Galaxy and probably the least loved among all the stuff we have to do in the game because it was really tuned for crazy high relic levels, crazy high gear levels, and amazing and perfect modding. And by the way, if you need help with your modding, I highly recommend you go check out Pimpo. If you need more of that one-on-one interaction, someone to help you do the best modding possible for Arena, Grand Arena, or territory battles like today, highly recommend you check out Pimpo. Because yes, gear is helpful, but modding is gonna make this even easier for you guys. I honestly would say modding is about 40% of this Geonosis territory battles easily. Now, I'm very well aware that a lot of you guys are not really getting crazy amount of stars in light side Geonosis territory battles. Really nobody is. Even the top guilds are not perfecting light side Geonosis territory. I want to kind of explain what the meta is in the top 10 give or take teams for light side Geonosis territories, the very best teams to try to get you as many stars as possible. Because if you and your guild are trying to make a goal to get to Geonosis territories light side, or even better yourself in light side Geonosis territories, these are really the teams you're going to want to strive for. And let's just dunk this cookie right in the milk, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, Rey is going to be your Galactic Legend to help tackle light side Geonosis territories. That's one of the biggest appeals for going over for her over Kylo. Dark side Geonosis territories is a lot easier, whereas light side Geonosis territories, you really need another solid team to help you split up your characters for other missions, such as the second Jedi mission, Galactic Republic Jedi mission, or just kind of having another solid light side team that's going to get you more consistent 3 out of 4s and 4 out of 4s. And I suspect Grandmaster Luke Skywalker is going to be the same thing. He's going to make light side Geonosis territories a little bit easier, having another solid light side team. But with Rey, you have a lot of flexibility. Obviously, Finn and Poe, the Resistance brothers, the Safari bros, the Handbag bros, whatever you like to call them, that's kind of the core trio. But a lot of people do a lot of different things with them. For example, I'll use the Resistance heroes, and then I'll do BB-8 and R2D2. Or for example, Holdo, L337. Heck, I see some people do Vandor, Chewbacca, L337. There's a lot of light side combinations. Rey is such an important team because it gives you a lot of flexibility, use a lot of light side characters to mix and match them, and it gets you some of the higher average waves in the game. But if you don't have Galactic Legends Rey, probably the first team that's going to be applicable to a lot of you guys out there is going to be Jedi Training Rey, with or without the Resistance heroes, as we're going to talk about here. Jedi Training Rey, pretty much the first solid team for phase 1. It's not going to get you a lot of 2, 3, and 4 phases viability, but this team right here, Jedi Training Rey and the droids and Finn, was pretty much your first solid team that we came across because there was so much turn meter, so much exposes, lots of turn meter removal. As I said, getting consistent completions in phases 2, 3, and 4, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But in phase 1, at least, this is a very solid team, and it doesn't require the Resistance heroes, which are Hard Node or Galactic Legend. But if you are chasing after Galactic Legends Rey, or just trying to improve your Resistance, highly recommend getting the Resistance heroes. Even with Jedi Training Rey, I was getting crazy amounts of completions and high wave completions with the Jedi Training Rey, the Resistance heroes, and like BB-8. And I leave that last spot open. I've done Rey, Scavenger Rey, with her inspiration from Resistance hero Finn and her doing her multiple attacks. She churns through battalions and puts out pretty massive damage. Some people do R2D2. This is probably going to be your best Resistance team until you finally get a hold of Galactic Legends Rey. Now, you need at least 2 solid Jedi teams, sometimes 3, as we're going to talk about, because you need a Jedi team, and sometimes a Galactic Republic Jedi team. That's kind of the biggest struggle point right now. We'll get to that towards the end. Not a lot of people are doing Galactic Republic Jedi, but let's look at this here. Jedi Knight Revan is going to be another staple team inside a light side Geonosis territories. They'll nag as many wins as possible. You're using this pretty much for all 4 phases. Jedi Knight Revan, it's actually kind of funny. A majority of these teams are not anything related to what happened in the Clone Wars. But the core Jedi Knight Revan team is going to be JKR, Bastila Shan, Jolie Bindo, Grandmaster Yoda in that last slot. Some people, for example, do Hermit Yoda. Some people do Old Ben, General Anakin Skywalker, Jedi Knight Luke. You have a lot of flexibility right there, but Hermit Yoda and Yoda seems to be kind of the main team to go for, but really the whole core of this team, relic your Jolie, because you're going to need to revive as much as possible. If it wasn't for Jolie, this team would not be a successful lineup. And we made some videos on this, Jedi Knight Luke inside of Geonosis territories. We made videos showing that you need a second Jedi team, and before JKL, we didn't really have a second Jedi team. It was just basically Jedi Knight Revan and, you know, just some mishmash Ayla Sakura, stuff like that. But Jedi Knight Luke gives you an actual shot on trying to complete those second tier Jedi missions out there. I've been able to get 3 out of 4 at least with this lineup right here, and occasionally I've gotten 4 out of 4 with Jedi Knight Luke here. Basically, you want to try to load him up with characters that have a lot of initial speed to try to get that big opening move, Heroes Arise, with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. Plo Koon, I put my fastest mods on. Again, mods are so important to make a lot of this stuff work. Plo Koon feeds a lot of turn meter for his lineup to keep feeding as many turns to Jedi Knight Luke as possible. Then Old Ben is another one that's helpful. He gets passive turn meter. He can get the mind trick ability blocks, which really slow down the opposing team. And in the last slot, I've used Barriss, Shaak Ti, sometimes even General Anakin Skywalker if I didn't need him somewhere else, or Yoda, for example. So you have a lot of different ways to go about it. It's not going to always get you high wins, but it's good to at least have a way to make your second tier Jedi work in those other Jedi missions you're going to need outside of Jedi Knight Revan. Now we get to what's actually Clone Wars related here. There's really only 2 solid Clone Wars teams in the game. I guess 3 if you consider General Anakin Skywalker and the Ahsoka Tano mission right here. But really the only 2 solid 5 teams, the 5 composition teams here are going to be Shaak Ti and the Clones and Padme Amidala and the Galactic Republic. Now, if you have General Anakin Skywalker, you have Shaak Ti. And it's oddly enough, Shaak Ti is the better leader to use with the clones over General Anakin Skywalker, with the legendary character out of the bunch. Mainly because under the General Anakin Skywalker lead, there's just no health and protection regeneration. There's just nothing. At least with Shaak Ti, you got plenty of healing capabilities to keep your clones alive as much as possible. And they're just so much faster. There's more mass assists being called. If you need to use your clones, this is the lineup to try to strive for. And of course, this is the team to use to get that Ki-Adi-Mundi that no one's using right now. Man, I'm still surprised there's been no incentive to gear up that character. I can't do anything with the guy. Padme Amidala, lots of Galactic Republic specific missions, and there's also the special mission, which requires Padme Amidala. If you're going to run the Padme lineup, you're going to want to keep these 4 right here. Then in that last slot, C-3PO is actually a highly needed character for a lot of lines. We showed him, for example, with Jedi Training Rey, Padme, and there's going to be 1 more home, possibly even 2 more homes that you can use C-3PO. But if you don't have any rebels geared up, this is by far the best way to use C-3PO is with Padme Amidala. And if you have to give away Ahsoka Tano to General Anakin Skywalker down here for that little mini solo mission, you can plug in things like Barriss. I've used things like Clone Wars Chewbacca. But really, Ahsoka Tano is just way too important for the Padme lineup. Without Ahsoka Tano, this definitely loses a degree of viability because she's constantly assisting over and over again and gives a lot of protection to the teams. These 2 teams are going to be kind of on the newer end, but people, as we speak, are farming up 3POC right here, and people are going to soon start farming Mon Mothma. These are the 2 most recent additions to the best light side Geonosis territory battle teams. This team is by far my favorite out of all we've talked about today because 1, they're quick battles, consistent 3 out of 4s at the minimum, and almost half the time I'm always getting 4 out of 4s. It depends what that last round of missions are. If the last wave is Geonosians, we run into a little bit of problems there, but for the most part, I've been getting consistent 4 out of 4 victories at this team. Without 3POC, oddly enough, it's a lot more difficult to get your rebels to work. He kind of makes all the difference here, and if you have to give C-3PO to someone else for whatever reason, Old Ben works sufficiently well. Mon Mothma, now this is by far the team that a lot of you guys are not going to have ready. Firstly, Mon Mothma right now, she's a newer character. She's still exclusive. Waiting on her to become free-to-play farmable, but although she's viable at low stars, the problem is you need, firstly, high stars to compete in Geonosis territories. No, you can't use those low stars. They told you can't do that, so you have to gear her up. You have to have her start up, and furthermore, you need some rebel fighters geared up. Now, this team has done really well for me, but I've seen people use Bist and get even more success. We've made a video on Mon Mothma, but you really need the Hoth Rebel Scout for the constant turn meter on the basic he's feeding to the team. You need POW. Without POW, there is no turn meter train. This team should get you solid 4 out of 4 victories. By far, as I said, the best non-legendary light side team, and the close second to that is going to be Shaak Ti. Those are basically your 2 best non-legendary teams. All these other teams, for the most part, have some degree of legendary in them. So eventually, I highly suspect once Mon Mothma becomes free-to-play farmable, we're going to see the importance of Shaak Ti and Mon Mothma skyrocket because there's 0 legendaries required for those teams. And then we got to wrap this up with the Galactic Republic Jedi mission. Really, the only way to do the Galactic Republic Jedi missions as of now is breaking up your Padme Amidala and having a General Anakin Skywalker left over if you want a chance to complete the Galactic Republic Jedi mission. And for your first runs of Geonosis Territorial's light side, the chance of you having a good solid leftover Galactic Republic Jedi team are going to be pretty slim because you need your Padme and you're going to need your General Anakin Skywalker for some other things out there. Once you start developing more light side teams and you rely more on, for example, Galactic Legends Rey, Commander Luke Skywalker, Mon Mothma, Shakti, and the clones, you can then break up your Padme and then kind of compose something to at least nab you 2 to possibly 3 wave completions. Any extra wave completed is going to help move your guild along as far as possible. And these are kind of the 2 most popular variants that I see people use left over. For the most part, it's going to involve having your Barriss and having your Jedi Anakin and General Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano. Then in that last slot, you can use Grandmaster Yoda or General Anakin Skywalker, but most likely you're going to be using Yoda for your Jedi Knight Revan team. I did once get a 4 out of 4 completion with this General Kenobi lineup once, but overall I averaged about 2 to 3 waves, I should say, with these 2 right here. It's just unfortunate that we were hoping that by now we'd have another solid Galactic Republic Jedi team that we can use, but the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to get it, I don't think, anytime soon. I think next year there's definitely a better possibility of seeing these Galactic Republic Jedi get reworked. It's a shame that Mace Windu, we're almost a year in Geonosis Territorials, and he is not useful whatsoever. But I think that will get rectified at one point, and we're going to have another Galactic Republic team, or just another Jedi team in general. But there are ways to still get around Geonosis Territorials, but no one at this point has perfected Geonosis Territorials, and I suspect it's going to be another year or 2. We're going to get Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. I'm sure it's going to help us out, get another solid team, but really, Geonosis Territorials, because of the fact that the Capital Games just cannot produce content at a fast pace, we can tell they're over-tuning this stuff, which makes it inaccessible for a lot of you guys to enjoy. And for those who can compete in it, it's definitely going to be a long time before we complete it. Ideally, it would be great if every year we got a new territory battle and a new raid, so it's more tuned with what's going on in game, because if you have to wait several years to finally participate in Geonosis Territory battles, kind of kills the fun out of playing the game. You want something that you can play and enjoy right now. And again, ideally, every year, it'd be great to have a new territory battle and a new raid and enjoy that's more in tune with where the gears and relics are and the characters are. But unfortunately, it looks like Geonosis Territory was tuned more for 2021, 2022 type of stuff that they have planned. And that's going to wrap it up for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this video was at least helpful for you guys. I know it's not the content that most of you guys are able to enjoy right now, but it's something that people will get to enjoy. But if you are needing help and guidance on what are the best teams, really, it's having the right gear, having the right relics, having the right characters, and of course, modding your characters right. Make sure you put your best mods on possible if you want to dominate Geonosis Territorials. Like if you did enjoy the video. If you have other teams you want to recommend to others that try out, feel free to drop them down below. More ideas are always better, ladies and gentlemen, and always be sure to subscribe, because over here, it's great to be in the Empire today. Gary, can we roll out that outro? I'll see you guys later. Hit the outro.